call it Mo Day, a time of fanfare and pride, and another week with the neighborhood's best yard, because you drafted the MVP of all mowers. A comfortable seat and adjustable controls bring the battle to your turf, not your backside. Ride like the wind on your solid steel stallion and give the fans something to cheer about, because it's your day. It's Mo Day.
At Smith & Wood Wealth Management, we're proud to be part of the Rome community, where the same teamwork that wins on the court inspires our approach to financial planning and investment. Just like the Model High School Blue Devils and Lady Devils, success starts with a solid game plan. Like a trusted coach, we provide insight and guidance so you can pursue your financial goals with confidence. The Smith & Wood financial planning process centers on understanding your unique goals and creating strategies that balance enjoyment today with preparations for tomorrow's challenges. We would love to work with you to build a game plan for the season ahead. Welcome to Shannon Pharmacy, proudly serving the Shannon community since 2004. We're your small, full-service pharmacy with a big heart, offering friendly, professional service and a caring community feel. Whether you need prescriptions filled, expert advice, or health products, we're here for you. Experience the difference at Shannon Pharmacy, where your health is our priority. Visit us today.
If you ever find yourself moving through these doors,
we're gonna take care of you.
If you ever hear these sounds, or see these lights, may you find our caring team of ER experts all around you. This is the human spirit at its best. Advent Health. Feel whole.
WC Timber has been serving the Northwest Georgia and Northeast Alabama area since 1991. As a complete tree and timber service, WC Timber can handle thinning and clear cutting, tree chipping, stump removal, and storm damage, as well as bucket truck and crane services. For more information, visit them on the web at wctimber.com or give them a call at area code 706-238-1214. WC Timber and Tree Service.
You have to be tough to be the world's #1 selling farm tractor. Mahindra tractors have a tough, heavy-duty steel frame, so they can lift fallen trees and everything else thrown our way. And you're tough, too. You maintain roads and mend fences and give your neighbors a hand and still make it to church on Sunday. Now that stuff sounds like we have a lot in common. Mahindra, the official tractor of tough.
At Northwest Georgia Media, we're all about capturing the moments that matter to you. From sports to arts, from concerts to business events, we're equipped to share what's happening in your world, live and in high definition. We leverage cutting-edge technology and a knowledgeable crew to see that your most unforgettable events remain just that, unforgettable. Northwest Georgia Media, where the world is your audience. High school basketball coverage begins now. This broadcast is produced by Northwest Georgia Media and WLAQ Radio. Coverage is also provided on the Southeast Sports Network. You're watching high school basketball action.
And we're live inside Woodard Gymnasium on the campus of Model High School, home of the Blue Devils, where we're getting ready or already experiencing a big night of basketball for you tonight. We are at the end of the JV boys game, which has been a close game throughout. Right now, the Tigers, Darlington Tigers, are on top by 7, but still pretty good a bit of time left in this game. Minute and 33 seconds. You can do a lot with that amount of time.
That's right. If they can heat up from behind the arc and extend the game, they've still got a shot to make this one close.
Absolutely. So we'll keep you, in lockstep with what's going on with this game as we start our pregame for the girls and boys varsity games coming up respectively after this one in that order. But we're excited about this night of basketball. Of course, you got the Model Lady Devils and Darlington Lady Tigers coming up first in our first official broadcast tonight. As the ball is stolen away from Model's JV team, they go inside. The layup is good, and that's going to cut it to a 2-score, 4-point ball game, Ian.
Great transition play there by Model.
Here's Darlington on the other end, missing the finger roll, but there is a foul that's going to put that young man to the free throw line. And again, we'll point out this is the JV game. We were not planning on broadcasting any portion of that game tonight, so we don't have the rosters. So that's the reason why we're not giving you the names, because we don't have them. But they've got a timeout on the floor. So we're going to do the same thing here, but we're glad you're with us as we get started here with our pregame show. It is at Model High School. Model and Darlington coming up with a couple of varsity games tonight. Let's step out for 1 minute. We'll be right back.
You have to be tough to be the world's #1 selling farm tractor. Mahindra tractors are tough thanks to more built-in weight, so they can safely pull flex-wing mowers and rescue neighbors stuck in the mud. And you're tough too. You haul feed and pull a float on your hometown parade.
Let's pray.
And still make it to supper. Now that's tough. Sounds like we have a lot in common. Mahindra, the official tractor of tough.
JV basketball team at the free throw line right now. Some big free throws coming up here with 1:11 left to go in this barn burner of a JV game that we've been entertained by the last hour or so. Young man makes the first one and gets ready for a second free throw, trying to put this thing out of reach of the Model Blue Devils.
And they're still scrapping, Matt. They'll scrap down to the last second.
Second free throw in the air, and that one's going to go off the top of the rim. Model comes out with the rebound. I don't think they
did not put the point on the board.
But Model across the timeline, they got it on there now. So Darlington up by 5. Here's the shot. That one's off the front of the rim. Rotten gets the rebound, turns, and gets fouled. So he's going to the charity stripe. And as you mentioned earlier, getting some shots from the perimeter, but also getting to the free throw line with a clock stop. You can make some free throws here, can certainly make it a ball game as well.
Yeah. Trying to extend this game, whether you're getting to the free throw line or you're putting the other team there, stopping the clock, getting a chance to saw into this lead.
First one goes through for Rotten. He'll get ready for a second. So that cuts it to a 4-point ball game. He makes this one. All of a sudden, you got a 3-point game with 57.1 seconds left. So an eternity left if you are Darlington.
Yeah, this one makes it a one possession if he can knock it down.
Do want to mention that, as we talked about earlier, that Darlington and Model playing in what will be the last regular season games for Model coming up tonight, and then they'll turn their attention to the region tournament coming up next week. Makes the second one, it is officially a one-possession game.
And that foul shot going down, that's why you put the rotation on the ball. That backspin was kind off the front rim. Shooter's touch there from Rotten.
Well, while we got a break in the action, we'll let you know the sponsors of tonight's coverage, starting with the radio side this time. Mathis Trailers and Equipment Sales with us tonight, as they have been for years on these broadcasts. Instant replay on the video end is brought to you by Smith & Wood Wealth Management. Also sponsoring the video stream, Mathis Trailers and Equipment Sales. Also brought to you by Snodgrass and Robinson Plastic Surgery Specialist, Advent Health Redmond, Shannon Pharmacy, Dogwood Books, by the Herb Shop on Broad, and also Duffy's Deli. We'll talk about the crew coming up in just a couple of moments. But to bring you up to speed on our broadcast at this current moment, we got 57.1 seconds left in the boys JV game. Model was down by 7 points just moments ago. They clawed their way back from the free throw line and have made it a 3-point game, 39-36, trailing the Tigers here. It's anybody's ball game.
Well, since I arrived midway through the third quarter, both teams have been applying full court pressure. It's been an up-tempo, in-your-face game from the first tip, as was explained to me when I walked in. It's been close from the beginning, and it looks like we're going to have a photo finish.
It certainly has. They've got a young man trapped in the corner. He gets bailed out by a teammate, still trying to get it worked up the floor, having a little bit of trouble. They're able to pass around it. And now they've got it in between the circles with 44 seconds to go. Tigers with the basketball. They fire it up top, and I believe that there is a foul against the Blue Devils.
Yeah, they're milking the clock there and had to commit the foul and put him on the line.
Hard to believe that we're already closing in on tournament time as far as high school basketball is concerned. And once you get to that point, Ian, those few weeks go by quick, and the next thing you know, you're into March Madness.
That's right. You're not looking forward to that.
Oh, man, I tell you what, it just doesn't feel like it could be that point of the season already, you know, but it's here, and it'll be over before you blink your eyes. But you're right, I'm super excited about it.
You're pulling a repeat trip to Greenville?
Yes, yep. My wife and I go on an annual trip to March Madness. This is going to be, as far as the streak is concerned, 5 years in a row, and the first year that we went was to Greenville. So we're heading back there this year, looking forward to that. And of course, her hope and my hope as a result of that is that North Carolina can be a 1 or 2 seed and perhaps be there. But right now it's looking like it'll probably be Duke of those two teams. But we'll see. There's a lot of basketball left. Reverse layup is missed. Score remains 40-36 in favor of the Tigers with under 30 seconds left to go. Tigers got to be feeling pretty good about things right now, but still some time left if you're the Blue Devil faithful.
They've got a foul. Oh, my goodness. Well, they benefit. Crowd was calling for them to get out there and put them on the free throw line, but big turnover there gives Model new life.
And so with 17.7 seconds left to go, Model will inbound the ball, trailing by 4. Got to work quick here. Under 15 seconds to go. Left wing side, 3 ball in the air. That caroms across the rim, and now it's down to the final 8 seconds of the ball game and a 4-point deficit for the Model Blue Devils. That's going to be pretty stout to overcome, Ian.
Yep, absolutely. Darlington will get to shoot. It will be a 1-and-1, but it's a 2-possession game, so with under 6 seconds to go, it's going to be a tall order for them to pull it off.
And as soon as this game is over and they start the clock for the time in between games, we'll launch into our pregame officially for the varsity games. But again, we welcome you into the broadcast, whether you're watching on the live stream or listening on the video. First free throw is a miss off the back of the iron. We'll get ready for the second free throw, so the score remains a 4-point 40-36 game in favor of the Darlington Tigers. Second shot on the way. That one is through. It could be that's probably the final dagger right there.
Miles going to take a timeout. But they would need a tray, a stop, and another deuce.
And I got to tell you, Ian, even though this is the only high school basketball that we're going to have on WLAQ and on the live stream this week on the radio end, we're going to have some college basketball coming up tomorrow and I believe on Saturday as well. But Georgia Tech is going to be hosting Wake Forest at McCamish Pavilion coming up tomorrow night, 8:30 with the pregame show, and that'll be a 9 o'clock tip, which means a couple of things. Well, it means that it means one thing. I'm going to miss the game because that's too late. I went to bed at 8:30 last night, believe it or not.
Now, I can't believe I missed Kansas and Arizona.
Arizona dealt their first loss of the season. I heard it was an epic game, and I, like you, I was snoozing during that period of time.
Yeah, I just didn't have anything left from the night before. Not that the Super Bowl was wildly entertaining, but I stayed up for it.
Well, that was what I was going to say. I wish I would have saved it up for Arizona, Kansas. That would have been a lot more entertaining than the Super Bowl from start to finish. That was the most boring Super Bowl that I can remember watching in years.
It was the worst since that Rams, was it Rams Patriots? That was such a slop fest in Atlanta. Yeah, that was that one was worse. I will say that. There have been worse Super Bowls, but that one was pretty bad.
Well, the Darlington JV boys have just won 41-36 is your final score. Tigers over the Blue Devils. And that is going to conclude, of course, the JV side of things for tonight. And we will officially get ready to roll into our pregame show. It's the Model Lady Devils and the Darlington Lady Tigers coming up in about 15 minutes. So let's go ahead and take a 3-minute timeout. We'll take a 3-minute timeout, and we'll start to set the stage for this evening's first game coming up in the varsity side of things. We'll be back in 3 minutes.
They call it Mo Day, a time of fanfare and pride. And another week with the neighborhood's best yard, because you drafted the MVP of all mowers. A comfortable seat and adjustable controls bring the battle to your turf, not your backside. Ride like the wind on your solid steel stallion and give the fans something to cheer about, because it's your day. It's Mo Day.
At Smith & Wood Wealth Management, we're proud to be part of the Rome community, where the same teamwork that wins on the court inspires our approach to financial planning and investment. Just like the Model High School Blue Devils and Lady Devils, success starts with a solid game plan. Like a trusted coach, we provide insight and guidance so you can pursue your financial goals with confidence. The Smith & Wood financial planning process centers on understanding your unique goals and creating strategies that balance enjoyment today with preparations for tomorrow's challenges. We would love to work with you to build a game plan for the season ahead. WC Timber has been serving the Northwest Georgia and Northeast Alabama area since 1991. As a complete tree and timber service, WC Timber can handle thinning and clear cutting, tree chipping, stump removal, and storm damage, as well as bucket truck and crane services. For more information, visit them on the web at wctimber.com or give them a call at area code 706-238-1214. WC Timber and Tree Service.
we welcome you back live here courtside inside the gymnasium at Model High School. It's Woodard Gymnasium, home of the Model Blue Devils, as the Blue Devils get ready to take on the Darlington Tigers. First up is going to be the girls' varsity game, so looking forward to watching the Lady Devils and the Lady Tigers locking horns coming up here in just a little bit to give you a little bit of background on this matchup going into tonight's game. We'll talk about the Model Lady Devils a little bit. They are 15-8 on the season, 8-3 in Region 6A Division I. Number 2 team in the region. When you look at their 3 losses over the course of the year, it's kind of interesting to look at. They've lost to Temple, Heard County, and Bremen. All of those were road games, but when they had those teams at home, they defeated them in all 3 of those particular matchups. So they played excellent ball at home. At times have had kind of a hard time on the road, but they've got this one at home against a team that earlier in the season they were able to take care of pretty mightily. And when you look back at that first matchup, fairly lopsided. I was looking back at my notes to see what the final score of that game was, but evidently I didn't write it down, so I'll have to go ahead and defer to the schedule that I handed off to you. But Model defeated Darlington that first matchup. 61-29 was the final score in that game. That was back on January 16th. And in that particular game, they had 3 players that were in double digits. Cam Sanders had 17 points. Addie Mathis had 10, as well as Samantha Betts. So again, 3 players in double digits. They shot the ball well, played great defense, and they're looking to repeat the same playing at home. And that game was at Darlington earlier in the season.
Yeah, I think what you've seen from this Model team is a team that had, there were a lot of lineup adjustments early in the season, and as the season has gone on, the chemistry and the roles that these young ladies are playing when they're out on the court have become interchangeable. And the front court for Model has really ramped it up as the season's gone on, led by Cam Sanders and Eva Pointer. But there's no shortage of talent here on this Model roster. Whereas you look at the Darlington Tigers, you've got a trio of seniors on that roster. But even in the preseason, Coach Rush talked a lot about how they're a young squad, and they're really their seniors are really trying to help bring along these underclassmen to build the program back up. So you've got 2 programs that are kind of in a different place right now, but at the end of the day, these 2 teams want to come out. They want to beat each other, man. It's Tigers and Devils. Oh,
there's no doubt about that. And to your point, Ian, Darlington so far this season, they've gone 4-15. They're 1-9 in region right now, in number 6 spot of Region 6 Class A Division I. They're averaging about 38 points a game, allowing about 54. They did win their last game, however. That was a home victory over Haralson County. 37-31 was the final score, so they were able to hold Haralson County to a few points in that basketball game. And when you have something positive like that, you want to carry that into the next game, see if you can build on that momentum and put up a competitive performance against a really good team tonight, the Model Lady Devils.
Yeah, and when you're on the road and in an environment like you get here at Woodard Gymnasium, you want to come out shooting hot. That always helps if you're the road dog. Come out and knock down a few, get your confidence going, and see if you can make it a 4-quarter game. You just want to drag them in the muck and play some solid defense, and see if you can get a little ball control going on the other end.
Well, we referenced earlier that these are the last 2 regular season games here for the Model teams, but that is not the case for Darlington. Of course, the Darlington Lady Tigers will play again. Their last regular season game will be against Heard County coming up on Friday. Boys will play on Friday night as well for Darlington, and I believe Darlington boys have got another game after that on Saturday before they roll into the region tournament coming up next week. And if I understand everything correctly, that the boys side in Region 6 Class A Division I is going to determine who is going to host the region tournament coming up next week. And all things are pointing in Darlington's direction. Even if Model, the boys, pick up a victory in our nightcap tonight, my understanding is more than likely it will be at Darlington. But we'll see what happens when everything shakes out. I'm not sure exactly how the tiebreaker works if Model should pick up that victory and even out the regular season series between those 2 teams. Even though, and we're talking on the boys' side here, even though this will be the 3rd matchup between Darlington and Model, one of them was in the Christmas tournament, so it doesn't count towards your region standings. So anyway, we're going to take another break. We're glad you're with us. This is live coverage of Model basketball here on the live stream produced by Northwest Georgia Media, as well as on the radio on WLAQ, and we're glad to partner up with Northwest Georgia Media for this broadcast once again tonight. But we're going to step out for 3 minutes. We'll come back with more commentary here in the pregame after a 3-minute break.
You have to be tough to be the world's #1 selling farm tractor. Mahindra tractors are tough thanks to more built-in weight, so they can safely pull flex-wing mowers and rescue neighbors stuck in the mud. And you're tough too. You haul feed and pull a float on your hometown parade.
Let's pray.
And still make it to supper. Now that's tough. Sounds like we have a lot in common. Mahindra, the official tractor of tough.
Welcome to Shannon Pharmacy, proudly serving the Shannon community since 2004. We're your small, full-service pharmacy with a big heart, offering friendly, professional service and a caring community feel. Whether you need prescriptions filled, expert advice, or health products, we're here for you. Experience the difference at Shannon Pharmacy, where your health is our priority. Visit us today.
About 3.5 minutes away from tip-off inside Woodard Gymnasium. First up, Model Lady Devils and Darlington Lady Tigers. Looking forward to this matchup coming up here in just a little while. But Matt Davis and Ian Griffin bringing you the play-by-play action here of the ball game today. And as far as coverage coming up for region tournament, we'll just leave that as to be determined depending on how everything shakes out coming up next week. And I guess the same thing you could say for the state tournament, but we will have some coverage coming up beyond this game, games that are taking place here tonight. So we'll be looking forward to that. But anyway, just wanted to welcome you back in. I will recognize the crew here before we get started, and we will start on the video side. Midcourt cameras tonight, Bennett Abernathy and Clay Hardiker. On sideline cameras, you've got Levi Miller and Miracle Lilly. On Pan Tilt and Zoom, or shortened PTZ, and scoreboard, it's Dylan Bice. Replay tonight, the guru of Northwest Georgia media, and a heck of a good guy, Nathan Patterson. And then director tonight, holding everything together on the video end, it's Mike Garrett. Commentary tonight, I'm Matt Davis, he's Ian Griffin, and we got Lynn Butler back at the studio at the foot of Mount Alto. So we got a full crew tonight, and we definitely want to make sure that everybody, as Gavin Booker likes to say, it gets their flowers as we get ready to start the broadcast. I've never heard it quite put like that, but I kind of like it, so I think I'll adopt that.
That is a Gavinism,
it
for
is.
sure.
It really is.
pulled it right from the book of Gavin.
Absolutely. Well, I tell you what, Ian, we got a lot of action coming up, so I think it's best that we take another minute-and-a-half break, come back, we'll give them the starting lineups, it'll be go time. And by the way, it's good to have you back in the saddle with us tonight, man.
Great
glad
to
have
be
you
here.
back for lots of reasons.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
Really glad to have you back as a part of the broadcast. Let's step out for a minute and a half. We'll come back, starting lineups, and it's go time in Woodard Gymnasium. Back in a minute and a half.
You have to be tough to be the world's #1 selling farm tractor. Mahindra tractors have a tough, heavy-duty steel frame, so they can lift fallen trees and everything else thrown our way. And you're tough, too. You maintain roads and mend fences and give your neighbors a hand and still make it to church on Sunday. Now that stuff sounds like we have a lot in common. Mahindra, the official tractor of tough.
Folks, we welcome you back into Woodard Gymnasium, where we're getting ready for the national anthem. Then, as referenced before we took our final break of the pregame, we'll give you the starting lineups, and then we'll offer you the ball game here tonight, which we're super excited about. But let's turn our attention over to the PA and the national anthem. Here we go. And as promised, it's time for your starting lineups here. And we're going to start with the visiting Darlington Lady Tigers, who come into the matchup 4-15, 1-9 in region play. We'll start with number 1, Sydney Rush, playing in her senior year. Number 4, Georgia Dunnigan, a freshman in the starting lineup tonight. Number 11, Ellie Howren, a sophomore. Number 12, Kendall Dixon, a freshman. So 2 freshmen and sophomore in the starting lineup. And then number 24, Sarah Jo Pierce. That rounds out your starting lineups. By the way, Sarah Jo Pierce is a junior this year for the Darlington Lady Tigers. Their head coach is Samantha Rush. Now for the Model Lady Devils, we'll start with number 1, Cam Sanders, a sophomore in the starting lineup tonight for the Model Lady Devils. Also in the starting lineup tonight for your Lady Devils, number 3, Addie Mathis, playing in her senior season. Also another senior, number 15, Sasha Wood. Number 21, Samantha Betts, a sophomore. And rounding out the starting lineup tonight for your Model Lady Devils is number 25, Jada Wells, a senior. And, of course, the head coach of the Model Lady Devils is Sally Eccles. So 2 well-coached teams playing here tonight. It's going to be a great atmosphere for a ball game. Let's get it going, man.
It is. Always electric at Woodard Gymnasium, but there's a little extra mustard on this hot dog tonight because it's Tigers and Devils locking horns.
Definitely become a rivalry matchup in girls and boys basketball over the course of the last several seasons and over the years for that matter. But of course this is a region matchup between these two teams this season. So we get ready for Cam Sanders and also Lady Tiger to square off in the circle. It was Howren, and the Blue Devils win the tip. 2 shots are missed. Here's a third, and it goes through and in. It's Jada Wells getting the first bucket.
Second chance points there. Cam Sanders with the rebound, the putback, and Jada Wells returns that favor. And a quick turnover from Darlington. So not the start the Tigers wanted to get off to here.
And if you're the Lady Devils, you want to take advantage of any kind of opportunities like this to put on the gas here. It's one of those all gas, no break situations. See if you can get a big lead here early in the game. Addie Mathis with it. Now right wing side. Here is Betts. Back up top to Sasha Wood. Left wing side to Mathis. Floats it underneath. Gets it out to Sanders. Now back to Mathis. Sends it across to the right wing side to Betts. Inside to Wells. Now back to Betts. Fires the 3, and it caroms across the rim. But Sanders gets the rebound, the putback, and the score.
Third offensive rebound here in the first 2 possessions. And another bucket off of that second chance opportunity.
And that's going to be a whistle and a foul, I believe, against the Model Lady Devils. So Darlington will inbound the ball into their backcourt. Bringing it up the floor is going to be Kendall Dixon. She's across the midcourt stripe, dribbles left, now goes to the low block after a pass to the left wing. 3 ball is missed. Rebound's going to be picked up by Mathis. Tries to cross-court pass. Pass is picked off. Here's Darlington on the other end. And couldn't get it to the rim.
Yeah, that was blocked by Wells. Did a great job just putting her hands up. Getting the deflection.
Sasha Wood on the Betts, underneath the Wells, off the glass, strong move and finish.
And there's a distinct size advantage down there on the block, and Model is definitely looking to exploit that. Great pass there from Betts.
Tigers across the timeline and across the mid-floor. Samantha Betts getting her hands in there with the deflection, knocks it out of bounds. And it's obvious early in this game, to your point, Ian, that this Model defense has come to play in this basketball game.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And Coach Eccles has them wanting to attack the paint. So look for that ball to keep going down to Wells. Samples, pointer when she gets in.
Quick jump shot is high off the rim. Sanders gets the rebound. Sanders across the timeline, drives right to the, sends it down to the low block to Jada Wells, now out around the perimeter. Now back up top to Mathis. Mathis going to work inside, puts up the little runner off the front of the rim. The ball is knocked loose, and it's going to be out on the Tigers.
They called it the other way. I thought that was that last touch to the Darlington player, but perhaps they have a better angle down there.
So Darlington will inbound the ball, greeted at half court here by the Model Lady Devils on defense. They drop back. Now Dixon with the basketball up top, fires the 3. That is a missed shot there by Rush. Rebound picked up by the Lady Devils. A one-and-done trip there for Darlington. Mathis on the left wing, fires the 3 and knocks it through.
Silky smooth jumper there from the senior.
I believe it was a long 2. Darlington on the other end, a jump ball. So I guess her foot was in front of the line when she took that shot, because right now the scoreboard shows 8-0. All right, so Darlington set to inbound the ball, surveying the floor. They're going to fire it out to the left wing side, drive towards the lane, puts up the quick shot, and that one's going to rattle through. Picking up the bucket is Dixon, and the run stops at 8-0. It's 8-2. Sasha Wood, Cam Sanders, now around to Addie Mathis. Over into the deep corner on the left wing side to Betts. Betts up top to Sasha Wood. Wood between the circles. Now hands it off to Betts. Behind the back dribbles, kicks it out to Wood.
Good perimeter defense here from the Tigers on this possession.
Mathis in the lob down to Wells. Bounces it off the glass and through.
Yeah, a good timeout by Coach Rush there. They're going to have to find a way to deny the bigs the ball, or it's going to be a long night.
We're going to take one as well. 5:02 left to go first quarter. Model opens up a 10-2 run to start the game. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
WC Timber has been serving the Northwest Georgia and Northeast Alabama area since 1991. As a complete tree and timber service, WC Timber can handle thinning and clear cutting, tree chipping, stump removal, and storm damage, as well as bucket truck and crane services. For more information, visit them on the web at wctimber.com or give them a call at area code 706-238-1214.
Welcome you back into live coverage of high school basketball here with Northwest Georgia Media and WLAQ Radio. 5:02 left to go first quarter. Right now the Model Lady Devils in charge of this game so far for about 3 minutes. Ian, they lead at 10-2.
Yeah, and they've attacked the glass. All the points outside of one jumper from the corner from Addie Mathis have come in the paint.
And so we get ready for Darlington to inbound the ball as they get ready to work it up the floor. Dixon will handle the ball as she brings it up towards midcourt. Crossing over is Rush. Now back to Dixon. Ball gets behind her. Here's Wood after picking it off. Goes inside, puts it up.
Traveled.
She's traveled.
Yeah, a little triple step there as she cut across the lane.
So Rush to feed it into Dixon. She'll work it across the midcourt stripe and across the M at mid-floor. Now works her way off towards the right wing side. Backs up. Now it's going to work inside. Puts it up off the glass and through.
I'm impressed with this freshman, Kendall Dixon. She's really handled the pressure well, getting the ball up the floor, attacking the basket. That's her second bucket.
And it's obvious early on in this game that she's got the green light to take it inside and take shots. She's made both buckets here for Darlington. Lob underneath. Wells off the glass after a great feed from Cam Sanders and Ian. She gets the points and she's going to the free throw line.
That's right. You got to love it when the bigs have some touch, man, and can pass that rock. What a feed by Cam Sanders. She pops up to the free throw line, just puts a nice little lob pass down to Wells, and Wells is having herself a quarter. Is that 8 points for her already?
She's got 8, and she's at the free throw line with an opportunity to convert a three-point play, so she may make it 9 here in just a couple of moments. She now goes through her free throw shooting routine, puts up the shot, and it is going to carry them across the rim. And Ian, just before the free throw, we had first substitutions of the game. Georgia Womack checked in, as well as Eva Pointer. So checking out of the game, you had Addie Mathis, and then also, I believe, Sasha Wood.
Yeah, and going with a bigger lineup with Pointer in.
Dixon puts up the shot, scores, and Ian, she gets fouled.
This young lady is impressing here in the first quarter. The bright lights of Woodard Gymnasium not too big for the freshman Dixon.
So after the foul on Sanders, Dixon stands at the free throw line after making the shot with an opportunity for 3. Puts up the shot, bounces high off the rim. Free throw is missed, and rebound goes to Model. Here's Georgia Womack with it on the right wing side in front of the Darlington bench. She's going to fire it across, gets it over to Betts, now to the left wing side to Sanders. Now back up top to Georgia Womack. And you've got Wells lurking there on the baseline. Shot is up from Womack. It's a miss. And a battle for a rebound is going to be won. Well, I thought we were going to have a jump ball there, but the official did not blow a whistle.
Georgia Dunnigan, good job fighting for that ball, maintain possession.
Dixon with the ball is going to send it back around. Ball is picked off. Here's Betts, drives underneath and lays it in.
Coast to coast. Betts gets the steal and the layup.
Dixon trying to work it the other way. There are the hands there of Pointer. Ball is stolen away. Here is Womack in the paint, off the glass. Nice touch.
One of the greatest compliments you can get as a basketball player is when your opponents say, "I hate playing against that person." And Eva Pointer would be that kind of player.
Oh.
She's just pesky, always around the ball making plays.
And that'll be a traveling call against Darlington. So we get ready for Model to inbound the ball with a 10-point, 16-6 lead. We're closing in on the 3-minute mark of the first frame. Betts across the midcourt stripe, now drives towards the right wing side, gives it to Wood, now up top at the elbow for Sanders, underneath to Pointer, backs her way in and gets it to the rim. It rattles in.
Pointer coming in as the sixth man in this scenario tonight. and making an impact immediately.
Model with her biggest lead of the night at 12. Shot off the glass, and that is Dixon again. My goodness.
She's got all 8 Tiger points.
So 18-8, that cuts it back to 10. Here's Georgia Womack on the right wing side. Now underneath, the feed from Sanders to Pointer. Missed the shot, but she's going to the stripe.
Nice feed. Almost got the finish in the end. One opportunity, but she'll get 2.
First shot on the way is going to carry them across the rim. And Ian, when you look at the scorebook, it tells a lot of the story here. Obviously, you talked about the points on the inside, but you've already got 6 players for this model team that have been able to put up points in this game. So they're doing a great job sharing the basketball.
Absolutely.
Shot is off the back of the rim. It won't go. Rebound's going to be picked up by Darlington. Coming out with the ball is Dunnigan. She's across the timeline. Ball is poked free. To your point there, Ian. Pointer getting in there, poking it out of bounds.
Yeah, whether she's getting the steal, the blocks, the tip balls. I mean, it's just one of those glue players that drives her opponents crazy.
Rush sends it into Presley, puts up the quick jump shot, rattles across the rim. Pointer is there to get a rebound. As Ian pointed out, she's everywhere. There's Georgia Womack on the right wing side, out to Sanders, fires the 3, and that one goes off the mechanism.
The apparatus. The mechanism.
The contraption.
Whatever you may call it.
And even though she did miss that shot, that's one of the things that really makes Cam Sanders so dangerous is her range, because she's one of those players that can beat you on the inside, but she can shoot from the perimeter as well.
She's got handles too.
Here comes Betts on the other end, scoops it up and gets it to go.
We may see another timeout from Coach Rush if there's another flurry of baskets from Model. Right now she's going to ride things out, trailing by 12.
Dixon across the midcourt stripe was trying to get it to Rush. The passing lane shut down. Here's Pointer off the glass and through.
Yep, there's the timeout.
Well, we're going to take this one also. 1:38 left to go first quarter. Model is up 22-8 over Darlington and girls varsity game. We're back in 30 seconds.
If you ever find yourself moving through these doors,
We're going to take care of you.
if you ever hear these sounds, or see these lights, may you find our caring team of ER experts all around you. This is the human spirit at its best. Advent.
Tigers and Blue Devils tonight for you inside Woodard Gymnasium. So far it's been all Blue Devils, up 22-8 with 1:38 left to go in the first quarter. Rush will bounce it in. Dixon will bring it up the floor here for the Tigers. She will be greeted by Wood, who bats the ball away after she tries to pass, steals it and drives in, puts it up off the glass, misses the shot, but Wood's going to the free throw line.
And that was one of the first mistakes I've seen from Dixon there, just underestimating her opponent there with a bit of a lazy pass, and Wood made her pay for it and got the foul on the other end.
This is Wood's first trip to the free throw line here. First shot's on the way, and that one's off the back of the iron. It won't go. If you want to pick apart the performance so far, the free throws have been a problem so far in the first quarter, which has been at times of the season kind of a tough part of Model's game. And it's certainly not for lack of working on it.
I don't doubt that for a second. It's frustrating, though, when you lose a game and you look back at that stat and you just can't get them to drop.
And that one did not drop as well. Penn picks up the rebound, though, and Model may get another crack at it. Georgia Womack with the basketball, leaves it for Penn. Now trying to get it back to Womack, kicks it out to Wood, fires the 3, and that one rattles off the rim. It's poked out of bounds by
Penn.
the Blue Devils.
Yeah, Penn got it last. Tell you one thing you notice about Alana Penn when she gets on the floor, she's always where she's supposed to be. Very, very aware out there. And that's something I'm sure Coach Eccles really appreciates.
So right now on the floor for Model, here's a shot from Rush off the glass. It's a miss. Georgia Womack battles for the rebound. We got a jump ball. Floor check for you real quick. For Model, it is Womack, Wood, Diamond, Pointer, and Penn. For Darlington, checking in, you are going to have Howren. So right now you've got Rush, Howren, Dixon, and then let's see about the other 3 players. We got number 4, Georgia Dunnigan, and I'll catch the other 2 in just a moment. Number 24, you've got Sarah Jo Pierce. And who's the 5th? Is that it? Shot on the way is a miss. Right. Ball loose on the floor, goes out of bounds. It's staying with Model. Make sure I got all 5 of them in there. I don't think we missed anybody.
No, Howard, Pierce, Dunnigan, Dixon, and Rush.
Inbound pass goes to Womack. By the way, for Model, you just had Chloe Staten-Lackey check into the basketball game. Womack with the basketball, sends it to the right wing side to Diamond. Now back to Womack. 31 seconds on the clock, 7 on the shot clock. Ball loose on the floor, picked up by Wood. Lost the handle on it, sends it back out to Georgia Womack. Fires the 3 at the buzzer, goes off the back of the rim. So they avoided the shot clock violation, missed the shot, and Darlington got the rebound.
Darlington can hold and play for 1, or they'll push. We'll see.
Here's the shot from the perimeter and through. Big time shot by Ellie Howard. Her first bucket of the game.
No hesitation from Howard.
Georgia Womack on the other end with the answer. 3 points for her. She's got 5 in the first quarter, and that is the end of the first. Model leads at 25-11 over the Darlington Tigers. We'll step out for 1 minute, come back for the second quarter after these messages. That was pretty.
Smith & Wood Wealth Management, we're proud to be part of the Rome community, where the same teamwork that wins on the court inspires our approach to financial planning and investment. Just like the Model High School Blue Devils and Lady Devils, success starts with a solid game plan. Like a trusted coach, we provide insight and guidance so you can pursue your financial goals with confidence. The Smith & Wood financial planning process centers on understanding your unique goals and creating strategies that balance enjoyment today with preparations for tomorrow's challenges. We would love to work with you to build a game plan for the season ahead.
Folks, Darlington will inbound the ball trailing 25-11 to the Model Lady Devils as we start the second quarter of our girls varsity game. Right now Darlington with the ball. Rush has got it and she's tied up, gets it out to Dixon just in time, who dribbles on the right wing, being guarded right now by Betts. Leaves it off to the right wing, spins around, gives it right back to Dixon, drives baseline, trying to get it to the rim. Ball's loose. Coming out with it is Wood, still battling to get the ball. Picks up her dribble, sends it over to Betts on the near side, drives in the lane, fires it right back out to Wood, to the right wing side to Mathis, trying to lob it underneath to get it to Sanders. It was picked off out of the air by Darlington. Here's Dixon underneath, too strong off the window. Rebound picked up by Mathis, and Model wanted to work fast there, Ian.
They did, absolutely. Got a little ahead of themselves there, and the ball was absolutely lasered towards Sanders, but she had her back turned the other way. So Darlington catches a break there.
This is game number 24 of the season for the Model Lady Devils. Here's a long three-point shot missed by Howard. Ball's going to be poked out of bounds there, and it's coming back to the Model Lady Devils.
And while that was over the back on Georgia Dunnigan there, the differential there between her and Jada Wells sent her flying, even though she was the one that committed the foul.
Here's Wood on the right wing side, sends it underneath to Sanders. Now to Wells off the glass, too strong, gets her own rebound. The putback won't fall, and the rebound this time is going to be picked up by Dunnigan and Darlington. They come back the other way. Here's Dixon on the right wing being guarded by Betts, goes baseline, and ball ended up in the air, picked up by Wells. Here comes Wood with it. Across the timeline, sends it right wing side over to Addie Mathis. Mathis deep in the corner, now back up top to Sanders, now to Betts, fires the three, and that one's off the side, off front of the rim rather. Rebound picked up by Darlington. One-on-one, Wood and Dixon. Dixon gets it to the rim, gets fouled, and we're going to see Dixon at the free throw line.
The freshman is not afraid to take it to the rack.
She is not. Coach Rush going to be very happy to have that young lady on the roster for 3 more years after this.
It'll be fun to see how her game develops. If she can get that mid-range game where she can step back and hit the jumper, or work with one of the bigs when she penetrates and the defense is there to make that extra pass. She's going to be a weapon for the Tigers.
Missed the first free throws. Got another one coming up though, and that one is off the back of the rim. So. Misses them both. Rebound picked up by Model. Sanders came out with it, gave it to Wood. Now left wing side to Betts. Lob trying to get it over to Wells, and we got a whistle.
Yeah, Wells, great hands in traffic there. And they got Rush with the foul on the floor.
And so Sasha Wood set to send it in motion here for the Model Lady Devils, who lead it, by the way, 25-11. That's where we were at the end of the first quarter. Here's Sanders putting it up, and it rattles through.
So far, that combo down at the 4 and 5 with Sanders and Wells has just been too much for the Tigers to handle.
Howard with it on the left wing side, starts to drive baseline and travels. So we get ready for Addie Mathis to send it in motion here for the Model Lady Devils, who lead it 27-11 here. A couple of minutes and change into the second quarter. Wood fires the 3. That one's too strong, and the ball goes out of bounds. It's coming back to the Lady Tigers. One more regular season game for the Lady Tigers later this week. That'll be on Friday against Heard County, rather. And for the Model Lady Devils and the Model Blue Devils, tonight is the end of the regular season. Yeah. Got the boys game coming up for you later on this evening. That ought to be a real barn burner.
Absolutely. That'll be the 3rd time those two teams have faced each other this season.
Pass is picked off by Addie Mathis. She's got it all alone in the paint. If she wants it, takes it and scores.
Yeah, that was too easy.
It really was. 18-point lead now for Model. They got their biggest lead of the game, and the ball is going to go out of bounds. Last touched by Darlington. Trying to receive the pass, kind of went through her hands. So we get ready for Sanders to feed the ball in here for the Lady Devils. You know, we were, of course, in our last break, if you were listening on the radio side, you heard it, but it's hard to believe because we were talking earlier, Ian, about how tournament time for high school starts region-wise next week. The week after that, state tournament. Then you'll get into March, have March Madness. I mean, we're getting close to baseball season. Pitchers and catchers reported today. Here's a 3-point shot for Wood and knocks it down.
Confident shot there from Sasha Wood, top of the key.
We're going to have a lot of baseball for you on the radio coming up in just a couple of months. Here's
Hurdle Schwelly's out for 60 on the 60-day IR, huh?
At least 60 from the sound of it. Did not sound good what they were talking about today, but that's not good. That was one of the problems the Braves had last year, was keeping their pitchers healthy, and then you're having that problem when you barely got into spring training. Frustrating.
Going to be interesting to see how Walt Weiss runs his ball club.
Betts sends it left wing side to Addie Mathis. Now up top to Sasha Wood. Gives it right to Betts on the right wing. Now to Wells. Underneath, gets it to Sanders. She's tied up. Bounces it back to Wood. Now on to Mathis. Puts up a long 2. That's off the side of the rim. It's going to stay with Model, though. Wells tracks it down, and I think we got a jump ball.
Yep. Possession arrow in favor of the Tigers. So this one will be going the other way. And you're going to see Eva Pointer and Miles check in, so Lana Penn along with her.
And we're continuing to watch more people file into the gym as we go through the course of the first half of this basketball game. It's going to be interesting to see what it's like when we get to the second half of this one. Dixon with it underneath, and you got a whistle that goes against Darlington. Offensive foul, and we get ready for Model to bring it back the other way.
Well, you were at both of the previous 2 matchups between these teams, and games were closer than the final score would suggest. From what I remember.
There's no. Well, actually, I was at from the boys' side. I was at the one in the Christmas tournament for the gold ball game. The second game I was not at, but I've read Jeff Gable's story, and I've heard people tell the story of the game that were there. And Model had a 6-point lead early in the fourth quarter. Darlington went on a 16-2 run in that game late and won the game by, well, what was the final score? I got it written down somewhere. I think they won that game by 13. We'll get to that in a little bit. But yeah, it was sort of a game of runs, if you will, as basketball often is. Dixon across the midcourt stripe here for Darlington. 3:33 left to go in the second quarter. Here's Rush. Boy, she got hit hard by Pointer.
Pointer helps her up. She knows she whacked her on that one. So, and credit to Rush. She finished strong there, took the contact, and sunk the bucket for a chance for a three-point play here, the old-fashioned way.
So Rush at the charity stripe here. Right now your score is Model 32, Tigers 13. After Ian pointed out the bucket was good for Rush. Puts up the free throw. That's off the back of the rim. It won't fall. Penn gets the board, and now Wood's going to bring it across the midcourt stripe. Sends it over to Addie Mathis on the right wing, trying to feed it to Pointer underneath. Ball got into traffic and ricocheted out of bounds.
Well, I'm sure you've noticed, Matt, but the Tigers are collapsing 3 and 4 down to the block when that entry pass comes in.
From the elbow, that was Pointer, misses the shot. Rebound is going to go to, well, we got another jump ball.
Yep. Good tie up there by Ellie Howren.
Ellie Howren was the leading scorer when these two teams faced off earlier in the season. She had 10 points in that game. She was the only player for the Tigers that got in double digits in the first matchup. Ball's knocked out of bounds by Betts, so it's going to stay with Darlington as they get ready to feed it in with 3:09 left to go in the first half. Model up 32-13. Across the timeline goes Dixon, dribbles off towards that right wing side, spins her way in, is greeted by Pointer, kicks it out. There's a three ball in the air, and it is through for Bella Matthews. Wow, what a shot. 32-16. Model currently has Darlington doubled up on the scoreboard. Here's Mathis on the left wing side. Now back up top, they go to Wood between the circles. Right wing to Betts, sends it down sharply, trying to get it to Pointer. Sends it right back to Betts. Here's a wide open Wood for three and through.
Sasha Wood, the senior, feeling it from the top of the key. That's her second straight three.
And the score moves to 35-16 in favor of the Model Lady Devils. Dixon across the midcourt stripe, bounces it left to Howren, long two, a little bit too strong there. And coming out with it is Mathis, had to battle for it. She's across the midcourt stripe, dribbles left. And now they'll set up their half-court offense. Here is Betts, sends it out to Sasha Wood, who's had the hot hand on the last couple of possessions. There's Betts, hung on the rim for a second, rolled off. Great sequence, just didn't get the bucket. Here's Dixon inside, gets it to the rim, and is going to the free throw line.
She's 0 for 2 from the stripe tonight. Has a chance to get her first one to go down here. Tonight's going to be one of those games where anybody that's a basketball fan in the area, if their programs don't have games tonight, they're coming here.
Right. This is where you want to be. It goes in and out. And free throw shooting's been a problem spot for both teams in this basketball game tonight. As a matter of fact, I'm looking down at my scorebook, and Ian, neither team has made a free throw in the game.
That is an interesting step, Matt. An easy math for us.
Yes, it is.
Until now.
Until now, as Dixon makes the first free throw. So does the broadcaster's curse work in the opposite?
Of course it
When
does.
you acknowledge these things, it changes to the other way, regardless. Here is Penn in the paint, gives it off to Pointer. Quick jump shot. Caroms across the rim, and the rebound goes to Rush and Darlington. Dixon across the timeline into the lane. Little runner. That one's off the rim. Penn is there for the rebound. And we're going to have a foul.
I think that's at least 2 on Dixon, so she'll sit the rest of the half.
The scoreboard's got 3.
3? Yeah, that's a problem.
That is a big problem. So we get ready for Emily Gentry to inbound the ball in the game now for the Model Lady Devils. So on the floor for the Lady Devils, you've got Gentry. She's just given the ball to Georgia Womack. Penn. Also, you've got Chloe Staten-Lackey as well as Zakiah Diamond. Gentry, the ball drives baseline, looking for Diamond, and bounces out to her on the right wing. Now back out to Womack on the left wing side. Dribbles back up towards the top of the key. Now sends it over to the left wing. Gets it to Staten-Lackey. Back up top to Gentry, on to Diamond. She's going to work inside, and the ball is going to be blocked. Darlington back the other way. Howren sends it up top to Rush, puts up the long two, misses the shot. Staten Lackey comes down with the rebound. Down to the 44-second mark. So under a minute to go here in the second quarter. We're almost at halftime. Georgia Womack sends it up top to Gentry. Now left wing side. There's Diamond, lob underneath to Staten Lackey up top. Here's Georgia Womack. Hesitated on the three. Now starts to drive. Sends it out to Gentry. The lob to Penn underneath. And that's an offensive foul.
Yeah, you saw her extend a little bit there as she went for that drop step. Definitely initiated the contact. Good defense down there on the block from Rush.
And Rush has had to take contact on more than one occasion here in this basketball game.
You wouldn't expect anything less from a coach's daughter.
No, definitely not. Driving, baseline, shot off the side of the backboard. Diamond's got the ball for Model. 8 seconds on the clock. Obviously shot clock off. There's Womack. Pass gets behind her. Bounces off the Coach Rush on the Darlington bench. And Darlington get another crack before halftime. Well, they got to work quick.
Yes, they do.
And so Rush set to inbound the ball in front of the Darlington bench with 4.3 seconds left to go. So barely enough time to get it up the floor and get in range to take a decent shot. And the defense is all over them. Ball knocked loose. Here's Gentry for Model. Ooh, got it to the rim there before the end of the half. But Ian, at the end of our first half, Model with a dominant first half, scoring 35 points to Darlington 17. It was a great first half for the Model Lady Devils.
Absolutely, had everything clicking. Credit to the Darlington Tigers, though. Some good adjustments there by Coach Rush. They're going to let Model beat them from behind the arc and sell out to stop the points in the paint. So we've already seen some adjustments there, and they slowed things down a little bit. But Model was able to knock down some of those threes, led by Sasha Woods too there in that second quarter. So it'll be interesting to see how they adjust to halftime and come back out for this second half.
Well, speaking of halftime, it is now time for our halftime show. But first, we're going to take a break. We're going to send it back to the studio for a 3-minute timeout. A 3-minute timeout. We'll come back and talk over the first half when we come back in 3.
You have to be tough to be the world's #1 selling farm tractor. Mahindra tractors are tough thanks to more built-in weight, so they can safely pull flex-wing mowers and rescue neighbors stuck in the mud. And you're tough too. You haul feed and pull a float in your hometown parade.
Let's pray.
And still make it to supper. Now that's tough. Sounds like we have a lot in common. Mahindra, the official tractor of tough.
Welcome to Shannon Pharmacy, proudly serving the Shannon community since 2004. We're your small, full-service pharmacy with a big heart, offering friendly professional service and a caring community feel. Whether you need prescriptions filled, expert advice, or health products, we're here for you. Experience the difference at Shannon Pharmacy, where your health is our priority. Visit us today.
right up against the rail there. I don't know who he is, but
I know who he's with. All right, we welcome you back here to live coverage of basketball, high school basketball for you, provided by Northwest Georgia Media and also WLAQ. It's our halftime show, and at halftime, the Model Lady Devils on top of the Darlington Lady Tigers, 35-17. And breaking it down quarter by quarter, the quarter that offensively did the most damage in favor of Model was by far the first quarter, and they would outscore Darlington in that first quarter 25-11. To your point that you made just before we went to the halftime break, obviously the adjustments that Darlington made there in the second half were effective, as Model only scored 10 points to their 25 points they scored in the first quarter. However, the offensive production in that second quarter was a little less than it was in the first quarter for Darlington. So even though the defense was able to slow down Model a bit, they weren't able to pick up their offense enough to climb their way back into this game before halftime.
yeah, and there were some bright spots there from Darlington. I really thought they clamped down on defense. And again, they just said, all right, if you're going to beat us from behind the arc, so be it. We're going to try to take the pain away. And really attacked it. They got to the free throw line a few times. Finally knocked one down. Got the lid off the basket as far as the charity stripe was concerned. So they've just got to continue to fight and scrap. If you're on the Darlington side, as far as Model's concerned, you have to be fair. Jada Wells and Cam Sanders were on the bench a fair amount in that second quarter, so that helps the cause a little bit because they're tough to stop even if you double and triple team them. You know, the Blue Devils can beat you from behind the arc if they're shooting well, and they were leaving them wide open. We saw Sasha Wood make them pay a couple of times there in the second. And Georgia Womack hit one. There was a flurry of threes there at the end of the first quarter, from what I remember. A couple of string music moments there to end that very exciting first quarter.
Well, here's how it breaks down as far as individual effort scoring-wise. We'll start with the trailing Darlington Tigers, who right now are behind in this game. 35-17 is your halftime score. They would pick up 2 points from Sydney Rush, 3 apiece for Bella Matthews and Ellie Howren, who each had 3-point shots. Ellie Howren's was in the first quarter, and then Matthews knocked one down in the second quarter. But the leading scorer for the Darlington Lady Tigers, and the leading scorer in the game overall, was Kendall Dixon. She had 9 points in. 8 of her 9 points came in the first quarter. She only had 1 point in the second quarter. That was from the free throw line that you referenced earlier. The only made free throw of the first half for either team. And meanwhile, for the Model Lady Devils, they would have 7 players that scored there in the first half of the ball game. You had 4 players who had 4 points: Cam Sanders, Addie Mathis, Eva Pointer, and Samantha Betts. And then you had Georgia Womack. You referenced a 3 she made there in the first quarter. She had 5 points. And then you had Sasha Wood with 6. She made 2 threes in the second quarter. And then the leading scorer for the Model Lady Devils just had a great first quarter in the paint, Jada Wells. She would pick up 8 points there in that first quarter, and she would end the half with 8 points. So that's how it breaks down.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would expect some more of the same, even though Darlington is really selling out to stop those points in the paint. You work that high-low game, and you can kick it back out to your guards, and if they're going to leave you open, keep firing the 3 balls. And if they're not following, eventually you're going to have to step in and attack the basket and try to get to the free throw line if you're Lady Devils. And as you've stated so many times during our broadcast, the recipe for the Tigers is slow it down and get to the free throw line. Attack the basket, which Dixon has had success getting into the lane, as well as Rush. So they've got to keep trying to attack the basket, see if they can get some of Model's bigs into foul trouble and get to the free throw line and just work their way back into the ball game.
And with that said, we'll take a 2-minute timeout. We'll come back for the start of the third quarter after these messages on WLAQ and Northwest Georgia Media. Back for the second half after this.
Welcome to Shannon Pharmacy, proudly serving the Shannon community since 2004. We're your small, full-service pharmacy with a big heart, offering friendly professional service and a caring community feel. Whether you need prescriptions filled, expert advice, or health products, we're here for you. Experience the difference at Shannon Pharmacy, where your health is our priority. Visit us today. WC Timber has been serving the Northwest Georgia and Northeast Alabama area since 1991. As a complete tree and timber service, WC Timber can handle thinning and clear cutting, tree chipping, stump removal, and storm damage, as well as bucket truck and crane services. For more information, visit them on the web at wctimber.com or give them a call at area code 706-238-1214. WC Timber and Tree Service.
You have to be tough to be the world's #1 selling farm tractor. Mahindra tractors are tough thanks to more built-in weight, so they can safely pull flex-wing mowers and rescue neighbors stuck in the mud. And you're tough too. You haul feed and pull a float in your hometown parade.
Let's pray.
And still make it to supper. Now that's tough. Sounds like we have a lot in common. Mahindra, the official tractor of tough.
Lady Tigers to inbound the ball as we have officially begun our third quarter of the ball game. Second half is underway. They're going to try to send it to Rush here on the near side. Pass got away from her, goes out of bounds, and so a turnover right out of the gate.
Similar to how the first half started.
Betts across the midcourt stripe, stops, sends it right wing side over to Sasha Wood. Wood up top, gets it over to Addie Mathis. And here's Wood, fires the three, and that one's going to be left short. Coming out with it is Dixon. Darlington works back the other way. They want to work quick. Here's Dixon, drives right into the lane, coast to coast, got it to the rim, missed the shot. Howard gets it back to the rim, and she gets fouled.
Darlington sticking to the plan. Let's get it in the paint. Let's get these shots up and attack the glass. See if we can get to the free throw line. They did just that.
Indeed they did. 7:32 left to go in the third quarter of the ball game, and we've got Howard at the free throw line not even 30 seconds into the third quarter, and she makes the first free throw.
Howard had a three in the first half as well, didn't she?
Yeah, she must be one of their shooters. Gets ready for the second free throw, knocks it down. Nice touch on both of those free throws, so we've learned something.
Yes, very comfortable looking shot there.
7:30 left to go in the third quarter. Here's Mathis on the left wing side in front of the model bench. Now back up to Sasha Wood, sends it right wing side. Betts surveys the floor, trying to find the open player. They work it around the horn to the left wing side. Mathis wants to reset. Bounce pass to Wells. Now out to Betts on the right wing side. Bounces it to Wells on the baseline this time. Here's Betts with a wide open three. Left that one short. And picking it up was Darlington.
Model settled for threes on their first two possessions and missed both of them.
Dixon with it, spins around, ball loose on the floor. Wells picks it up, and a jump ball is forced.
Possession arrow in favor of the Blue Devils, so it'll go the other way.
Samantha Betts will feed it into Wood. It gives it right back to Betts, who is going to bring it across the center court line here for the Blue Devils. Sends it right wing side to Sasha Wood. She is going to find Wells on the right wing. Now they work it around the horn all the way to the left side as they reverse it the other way. Betts up top. Here's Mathis. Now on to Sasha Wood. She surveys the floor, wants to go back up towards the top of the key. Betts will make a move inside, scoops it up off the glass.
Really nice Euro step there to split the defenders, and then the finger roll off the glass, making Pop proud with that one.
Oh, there is no doubt about that. Across the timeline goes Dixon. Very aggressive move. Kicks it outside. Shot is up, missed by Howard. Betts comes in and gets the rebound. She'll bring it across the midcourt stripe. Feeds it out the left wing side to Mathis. Backs up, sends it back to Betts. Fires it crisply inside to Sanders. Bangs it in off the glass between two defenders.
I know, double teamed. Again, as I was saying, in that second quarter, Darlington did a great job. That was good defense, just better offense.
What are you going to do? Dixon, ball is batted away by Mathis, goes out of bounds.
Great hands there by Addie Mathis. Very close to controlling that and getting an easy lay-in, but it went out of bounds.
Rush sends it into Dixon. She's going to drive towards the lane, feeds it out to Howard, wants the three, left that one short. Mathis came out with the ball. She dribbles across the midcourt stripe in front of the model bench. Now sends it up top to Betts, lobs it to left wing side. Crisp pass inside from Wood to Sanders and through.
And Sanders had 4 points in the first half. She has 4 points early in the third quarter with a chance to add one at the stripe for the three-point play.
So Sanders going through her routine at the free throw line, puts up the shot and converts the three-point play as that one rattles through.
A complete player, man. She's got the mid-range. She can hit from behind the arc. Great rebounder, passer, and ball handler.
Shot off the side of the rim, rebound picked up by Dixon and score. She's got 11, Ian.
Yeah, she's had a heck of a ball game.
Betts to bring it up the floor right now. Model has Darlington doubled up 42-21, so a 21-point lead. Underneath to Wells. Nice feed and finish.
Wells picking up where she left off in the first quarter, into double digits, now with 10 points.
Under the 5-minute mark now of the third quarter. Dixon across the timeline, leaves it for Rush. Rush on to Howard and being guarded by Sanders. The feed to the right wing side. A pass, actually a shot is missed off the side of the rim. Sanders has got it, drives towards the low block, puts it up, and it rattles through.
7 points in this quarter for Sanders.
Now she's got 11 points, ties the other leading scorer of the game, who is Dixon for Darlington. Dixon with the ball, by the way, across the midcourt stripe as we get ready for substitutions to come into the game for Model at a stoppage of play. And that one is blocked. Here comes Betts with the ball. Bounce pass to Mathis. Drives baseline, gets blocked. And now Rush comes out with the ball for Darlington.
Sophie Spears with the block.
Across the timeline goes Rush. Leaves it off for Dixon. She dribbles back between the circles. Will set up the half-court offense here for the Tigers. Now back up top to Howard. She's going to feed it over to Rush. Now to the right wing side they go. Underneath to a cutting Rush. Misses the shot, but in. She's going to the line.
Good ball movement there from the Lady Tigers.
So Rush is back at the stripe. This is her second trip in the ball game in the second quarter. She went to the free throw line attempting to convert a three-point play. Missed her only free throw attempt of the game. She's got 2 more cracks at it here. So have you been dialing in on the Winter Olympics over the last few days?
I have. I've watched as much as I can. I turned on the curling finals today.
Oh, really?
Yeah. America finished with the silver, lost to Switzerland after they had a great upset over the Italians in the mixed curling.
Wow.
Gotta love some curling.
Your curling update here. We need to get a sponsor for that. That rattles off the rim. Rush.
I could see you being a heck of a curler.
I'd love to give it a shot. I really would. Georgia Womack kept her feet on the ground somehow. Here's Sanders going to send it underneath, trying to get it to Pointer, and it's knocked out of bounds.
You have to have great sweeping skills.
Well, I've been trying to brush up on that.
No pun intended there.
You know how it is when you're a partner in a business. You've got a lot of duties. So in addition to calling games and doing the different things we do in the day-to-day, I do the sweeping too. Across the timeline goes Georgia Womack. Here's a scoop shot off the glass, hangs on the rim and goes through.
Steal in the finish, and then she tapped it out of bounds. Almost got another steal. Great body control there from Womack. That was not an easy layup.
And to your point on that, she just goes right back to play defense.
Yep.
Doesn't take the moment there to admire the shot or anything of that nature. Just gets right back to work. Here's Rush, feeds it up top. Going inside, they kick it out. Howard, no look for her. She feeds it back up top. Ball stolen away. Here's Betts. 2-on-1 in favor of Model. Nice, unselfish pass to Wood. And she travels.
You can't win them all.
No. The numbers were in favor of Model in that attempt, but it did not go their way.
So I've got to know if you call your plays while you're out there sweeping, you know? Are you thinking about your curling? It's like Davis at the foot of Mount Alto.
I can't say the words that I say when I'm sweeping on the radio, man. But maybe I should do it that way. It might be more fun. Ball is poked free. I didn't say I like to do it. Here is Cam Sanders And I don't do it often. I should say that. I shouldn't give myself too much credit. There's Womack. It may get done once every couple of months. Here is Betts, puts it up and makes the three.
Catch and shoot from Betts, and everything's going the right way for the model Blue Devils right now.
Betts now with 9 points after that made three. And Model is out to a 29-point, 51-22 lead with 2:25 left to go third quarter. Pass is picked off by Eva Pointer, who was right in front of it. Here's Sanders across the timeline, sends it right wing side to Betts, who wants to work inside, feeds it out to a wide open Diamond and knocks down the three. Wow.
Heat check here. Lady Blue Devils knocking them down from behind the arc, getting the runouts in transition, and the lead has ballooned to 32.
We're under 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Rush has got it, sends it up top to Pierce. Now it is stolen away again. Get her hands in there was Pointer deflecting the ball. Womack with it now between the circles. Now going to send it left wing side. Now underneath to Pointer. Turns, shoots, rattles off the rim. And Georgia Womack comes out with the rebound. Going to fire it across to a wide open Sanders. Can't leave her open like that. This time she misses though.
Got lucky on that one. That was a good look.
Kind of skidded across the rim on the right side. Did have a good look, had her feet set. Looked like a pretty good shot initially, just a little bit off the mark. You haven't watched a ton of the Olympics. Last Friday we did watch some of the opening ceremony, which is always quite the spectacle.
It is.
I enjoy watching the different cultures and things of that nature involved. Shot is up and through. There's Sydney Rush for three.
Knocked it down from the wing.
54-25, 1:08 left to go in the third quarter. Model has been dominant throughout most of this contest. They try to get it underneath to Penn. It's deflected out of bounds, but Darlington continuing to battle here in this game.
No quit in the Tigers.
And we get ready for Georgia Womack to inbound the ball here for the Lady Devils with 1:01 left to go in the third quarter. Here's Diamond on the wing. Ball is going to be picked off on the pass that was going inside from Diamond. Now Rush has got it after picking off that pass, sends it up top, gets it to Howren. Now they work it around, get it into the hands of Spears. Feed it out to the right wing side to Dixon. Quick jump shot, and she makes it happen as usual.
Is that 13 for Dixon now?
Yes, sir. Womack across the timeline sends it to Gentry on the right wing. Now up top to Diamond. Now on to Georgia Womack. 30 seconds on the clock, 24 seconds on the shot clock. Up top to Gentry, right wing side. Diamond launches the three off the front of the rim. Georgia Womack with the rebound, drives baseline. That goes off the side of the backboard. And ball loose on the floor. A battle ensues. Who's coming out with it? It's Dixon.
How she came out of that melee with the ball, I don't know.
I don't either. I was thinking the same thing. College basketball for you tonight, tomorrow night rather, on the airwaves of WLAQ. The Demon Deacons are going to be facing the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. It's kind of fun when the Yellow Jackets were facing Stanford last week. Listening to the announcers, it's the bees versus the trees. I like that.
Bees versus trees.
Bees versus trees.
How are the bees doing? I don't even know.
I think they're 10-11. It has not been a banner season for the Yellow Jackets. Woo. Man, just a missed three right there at the end of play there in the third quarter, and at the end of three, Model leads it 54-27 over the Tigers. And we'll step out for 1 minute, come back for the final frame. We'll be back.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Instant Replay is brought to you by Smith & Wood Wealth Management. We also thank Mathis Trailer and Equipment, Shannon Pharmacy, WC Timber, Snodgrass and Robinson Plastic Surgery Specialists, Advent Health Redmond, The Herb Shop on Broad, Dogwood Books, and Duffy's Deli. Please support the businesses that support us.
Welcome back in live to Woodard Gymnasium. The Tigers will open up with possession of the ball to start our final frame of 8 minutes. Model leads at 54-27. They outscored Darlington 19-10 in the third quarter of the ball game. Ball is going to be kicked by Sasha Wood, so we'll get ready for Darlington to inbound the ball here in just a couple of moments. And so Rush to send it in motion, gets it to Dixon. She'll be between the circles right now. Here for the Tigers, gives it right back to Rush. Rush at the top of the key, fires it left, gets it to Howard, fires the three and knocks it through.
She loves the catch and shoot. That's really only the second time we've seen that, and she's knocked them both down when she's been able to take it off the pass and just fire away.
Good feed from Rush, and as you pointed out, great shot there by Howard. On that quick look, here is Mathis, sends it right wing side. We just got a text message from a guy that really bleeds blue. Want to take a guess who it is?
Oh, my goodness.
Who bleeds blue any more than this guy, man?
That must be Grayson.
Grayson. He said go blue. Underneath, of course, the former PA announcer and graduate of Model High School, now a freshman at Sanford, tuning into the broadcast tonight. Glad to have you with us, Grayson. Whether you're in here or not.
I got to give Grayson some junk tomorrow. My Gators play as Bulldogs at Stegman. So.
What time is that game at?
I think it's a 7 o'clock tip.
I might actually see some of that one. Ball is not loose. Darlington coming out with it. They've cut it back to a 24-point ball game. Here's Dixon, sends it right wing side. Rush wants the three, and that goes off the side of the rim. Howard trying to clean it up. Ball is loose. Here is a second look. Sophie. And that is Sophie Spears knocking down the bucket.
Good rebound and put back there by the freshman. The young faces that are the future of this Lady Tigers program.
Oh, absolutely. Here's Wells, going to lob it up top, gets it over to Addie Mathis. She backs up between the circles, sends it back to Betts. Now the left wing side to Sasha, sends it underneath to Sanders. She will travel. I guess she shuffled her pivot foot as she backstepped and got ready to make her move towards the bucket.
You're asking for an explanation, though.
Yeah. I was kind of screened, so I don't know. I didn't get a good look at it. But Dixon across the midcourt stripe for the Tigers. Bounce pass is picked off by Jada Wells. Gives it back to Sanders. Sanders going to work into the paint, and that's going to be a defensive foul on Darlington.
Stay on this end.
Bounce pass goes into Wells. Up top to Sasha Wood. Back around. Sanders with it at the top of the key. 23 seconds on the shot clock. We're down to the 5:45 mark here of the final quarter. Samantha Betts with the ball. Picks up her dribble. Sends it over to Wood. Fires the three. That's off the front of the rim. Picked up by Howard, and Darlington will clear out and bring it back the other way. Dixon takes the pass across midcourt, puts up a quick jump shot. That one rattles off. Picked up by Mathis. She motors coast to coast. Scoop shot, and it rattles in.
Good finish there by Mathis. A lot of run out opportunities, and Coach Rush is going to call her girls over and have a chat.
Well, we'll take a timeout as well. 5:16 left to go in the ball game. Model leads at 56-32. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
You look exhausted.
Dude, my to-do list got the best of me. I finally sharpened the blade, trimmed the yard, raked the leaves, and then I mowed.
Yeah, me too.
Get out. You're not even breaking a sweat.
I know. My grasshopper trimmed around the yard, power vacked the leaves, and then mowed. I did all of it without leaving my seat.
I gotta get a grasshopper.
Finish fall cleanup and be ready for winter with a grasshopper mower.
Here we go again.
Here inside Woodard Gymnasium as we get ready for Darlington to inbound the ball out of the timeout. Trailing Model 56-32. Boys game coming up shortly after the conclusion of our girls varsity game, and boy, that is going to be some kind of atmosphere, isn't it?
Yeah.
As fans continue to enter the gymnasium here. Here's Betts after the turnover for Darlington and gets the easy layup.
Double digits for Betts now too.
She's got 11. Dixon going to bring it up the floor now for the Darlington Tigers. She is across midcourt stripe. Another player in double digits in this ball game. She's got 13 points. Here's Rush, picks up her dribble, wanted Howard to stay on this end of the floor. She drove baseline to the right wing side, catches the pass, fires the three, bounces high off the rim, and it went through.
Yeah, another kind of a catch and shoot, but a step back hybrid there from Howard.
Trying to get the ball to the perimeter to Sanders. Ball goes out of bounds. You could see Coach Eccles was a little bit frustrated with that turnover there. Dixon across the midcourt stripe here for the Tigers. Now they're going to go around a screen on the right wing side. Back up top to Rush. Rush turns, shoots, fires the three, and knocks it through.
Nice looking shot there. Rush looking to get that shot a lot more in the second half.
She's made 2 threes here in the second half, to your point. He's got 9 points in the ball game, so threatening to get into double digits here for the Tigers. And we got a whistle and a foul. It looks like we're going to see free throw shots here. Nope, that was on the floor.
I think they got Howard.
And we're going to have a timeout. All right, just under 4 minutes to play. 3:58 left to go in the ball game. Model leads it by a score of 58-38. We're back for more after a 30-second break.
If you ever find yourself moving through these doors,
we're going to take care of you.
If you ever hear these sounds or see these lights, may you find our caring team of ER experts all around you. This is the human spirit at its best. Advent Health. Feel whole.
Lady Devils set to inbound the ball out of the timeout with just under 4 to go here in the ball game with a 58-38 20-point lead here getting late in this one. Betts takes the inbound pass, gives it to Sanders, bangs it off the glass too strong, gets her on rebound, misses the second look, but this time, Ian, she will go to the line.
Indeed. Just such a presence there down on the block. Cam Sanders able to impose her will.
Right now, Sanders with 11 points is one of 3 players in double digits for Model. Shot is through. She's now got 12 and leads all scorers in the ball game for Model. Leading scorer in the game right now is for Darlington, Kendall Dixon with 13. And with that shot, it goes off the front of the rim. Ball loose on the floor, tracking it down is Wood. Model gets the rebound. Here's Betts, back to Wood, wide open, did not take the shot. Now going to work it off the left wing side over to Addie Mathis. Mathis backs up between the circles, gives it to Betts, trying to get it inside. The pass is deflected and stolen away. Here's Dixon on the inside off the glass. Strong move and finish.
Clear path to the basket for Dixon, and she gets to 15, leading all scorers in this ball game.
So Betts has got it on the right wing, leaves it off for Addie Mathis, backs up, lobs it underneath, gets it to Sanders, kicks it out. There's Betts for 3 off the side of the rim. Wells gets the rebound, now back to Betts, bounce pass underneath, block shot there.
Yeah.
I believe it was Spears.
It was.
Blocked the shot.
That's a second block for Spears here in the second half. Coming off the bench, providing a spark.
And so we get ready for Sanders to inbound the ball here for Model. She's going to find Betts on the right wing side. Now back up top to Addie Mathis, back around to Betts on the right wing. They get it underneath to Sanders, bangs it hard off the glass and takes a foul.
Back to the line for Cam Sanders.
And this will be her 3rd trip to the line. One time was in the 3rd quarter. She converted a 3-point play, and she's been 2 times in a row here for Model in the 4th quarter. First shot on the way is through. That one was true.
Was indeed.
So one more shot coming up here for Cam, who's now 3 of 4 from the line. Make it 4 of 5. So we're officially at the 3:01 mark. Under 3 minutes to go now. 61-40. Model leads it by 21 points here. as Darlington tries to close out strong. Dixon with the ball, has it stripped by Sanders, but there was some contact.
And look at Sanders with the foul on the reach.
Well, once we conclude the game, we'll have a brief wrap up here of our girls broadcast, but don't go anywhere. We've got Model and Darlington boys locking horns for the third time of the season. Once in the Christmas tournament in the gold ball round. Darlington won that one. And then the first regular season matchup was at the Huffman Center at Darlington. Darlington won that game by 13 points despite Model having a 6-point lead in the fourth quarter. And so Model is going to try to get some revenge here tonight. It's going to be a really interesting ball game, I think.
I agree.
Here's Dixon, spins, puts it up, and that one's off the back of the rim. Gets her own rebound. What a great effort right there by Dixon. Also Pointer forcing the jump ball, but credit where credit is due, for sure.
Tenacious young player, and again, you know, I know this isn't the result Darlington wanted tonight, but there's a bright future. These young players are going to develop and get better and better in the seasons to come.
Womack trying to bounce it to Penn. The ball is deflected by Howard, picked up by Rush. And to your point on that, Ian, Coach Rush, obviously, as you know, made the point, is not going to be happy with the result, but she's got to be happy with the way this team has continued to battle and fight against a really good Model team throughout the game. They've been competitive at times.
Now, this thing could have ballooned. I mean, it was getting close to a 30-point lead there for a little while, and they've trimmed it back down and really fought hard here in the second half.
Dixon takes it across the midcourt stripe between the circles. Is going to give it off to Rush at the top of the key. They go left wing side to Spears. Ball is picked off by Eva Pointer, getting in on the action here late in the ball game on defense. Making another great play on defense as she's done throughout the game. Womack with it now to Diamond on the near side, back up top. Womack over to Betts. Betts has got it on the left wing, dribbles in front of the Model bench. They're going to eat as much clock as they can from this point forward, you would assume. Here is Womack with the ball. Now about 10 seconds on the shot clock. They'll start to make a move here. Georgia Womack with the ball, sends it right wing side to Pointer. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Here's Diamond, takes the pass from Pointer, puts it up, misses the shot, and the rebound goes to Darlington.
Great skip pass there by Pointer to find Diamond.
Model got a little deeper into the shot clock than I think they intended to on that possession. Here's Rush for three, and that one goes in and out off the back of the rim. Kept it in bounds, though. Here is Pierce underneath and getting fouled.
I think Betts got her with the body. Pointer got the block, but Betts got her going up.
And that was actually Anna Claire Lance. I said Pierce, but it was Lance going to the free throw line. So the first free throw for her in the game for Lance is up, and that one's going to rattle off the front of the rim as we got subs coming into the game for both teams. Staten Lackey for Model.
Addison Hightower for the Tigers.
One more shot coming up here for Darlington from the free throw line. That's off the side of the rim. Pointer picks up the rebound, sends it over to Georgia Womack, who's across the timeline. Now Diamond launches the three, and it is in. Wow. Second made three of the game for Diamond, and that one was true. You could tell as soon as it left her hands that that one was going in. Here's Darlington on the other end with under a minute to go. That one's off the side of the rim. Penn gets the rebound for Model. 64-40. Model leads it by 24 points. Right wing side, Pointer goes up top to Diamond. Diamond around to Womack here on the near side. Now back to Staten Lackey. On to Diamond on the left wing side. She shot the ball well tonight. They're trying to get her open. Here's Womack with the ball. Picked up by Staten Lackey. Ball knocked free. Picked up by Hightower, who brings it back the other way. And quick for Darlington. Puts up the shot. That one goes off the back of the rim. Penn is going to send it to Pointer, who comes coast to coast, trying to lay it in, does, and gets fouled. Wow. So a three-point opportunity for Pointer, who now has 6 points in the game and could finish with 7 or more. We'll see what happens. Shot is on the way. High arcing shot is through.
That's stripped the net there.
So Model to a 27-point, 67-40 lead after a gritty performance here from a Darlington team that just is outmatched in this game, but they put a lot of effort into this game and keep battling to the end.
Oh, so feasibly, could this be the last time that these seniors play here, or is there have you gotten a chance to look at the scenario?
And obviously in the regular season last game, but there is an opportunity definitely for the seniors to get to play here again in the playoffs, no doubt about it. I don't know how everything shakes out, but yes, I do believe they've got a chance to get a home playoff game, but we'll see what happens.
Right.
But man, that's the end of the ball game, and before I wrote down the final score, they took it off the scoreboard.
67-40, I do believe.
Okay. I just started to write it down, and I glanced over, and they got zeros up there. So we'll double check on that, but I think you're right. But anyway, we'll call it 67-40, your final score, as Model wins this one by 27 points at home to close out the regular season. We're going to take a 3-minute timeout. We'll come back with a post-game show after these messages.
You have to be tough to be the world's #1 selling farm tractor. Mahindra tractors are tough thanks to more built-in weight, so they can safely pull flex-wing mowers and rescue neighbors stuck in the mud. And you're tough too. You haul feed and pull a float in your hometown parade.
Let's pray.
And still make it to supper. Now that's tough. Sounds like we have a lot in common. Mahindra, the official tractor of tough.
Welcome to Shannon Pharmacy, proudly serving the Shannon community since 2004. We're your small, full-service pharmacy with a big heart, offering friendly professional service and a caring community feel. Whether you need prescriptions filled, expert advice, or health products, we're here for you. Experience the difference at Shannon Pharmacy, where your health is our priority. Visit us today.
Congratulations to the Model Lady Devils on a victory 67-40 over Darlington Lady Tigers here in our first game of the evening. We'll break down the scoring there for both teams. We'll start with the Darlington Lady Tigers. They pick up 3 points from Bella Matthews, 2 points from Sophie Spears, and then they would have 9 points from Sydney Rush, who knocked down a pair of threes there in the second half. They had 2 players that got into double digits. Ellie Howard made 3 threes and a couple of free throws for a total of 11 points there over the course of the 4-quarter game. And the leading scorer for the Tigers and overall in the game was Kendall Dixon, a freshman who knocked down 15 points. So great game for her.
Yeah, absolutely. Dixon was attacking the basket from the onset. But at the end of the day, the balance that the Lady Devils had and the size advantage they had in the front court, along with some sharp shooting from behind the arc, it was just the total package tonight for Model in that victory.
Oh, no question about it. Let's break down the scoring there for the Model Lady Devils. They pick up 6 points from Addie Mathis, 7 points from Georgia Womack, 6 for Sasha Wood, 7 for Eva Pointer, 6 points for Zakiah Diamond, and then they had 3 players who got in double digits. We'll start with Jada Wells, who finished with 10, 8 of her 10, all in the monster first quarter that she had. 11 points for Samantha Betts, who spread her scoring pretty much throughout the first, third, and fourth quarters of the ball game. And then the leading scorer tonight for the Model Lady Devils, finishing with 14, was Cam Sanders. And she had a really big second half of the game in terms of scoring. Most of her scoring took place between the third and fourth quarters of the game. So that all adds up to Model's 67 points. So that's going to put a wrap on our broadcast as far as the girls game goes. We're going to take a long break here, a 5-minute break in just a couple of moments. That way it'll give the video an opportunity to set up their stream for the second game. So if you're watching on the video side, be looking for the boys stream coming up in just a few minutes. But Ian, I do want to say this before we go into our final break. It's always exciting to be in Woodard Gymnasium, but there are games that come up in the schedule where you can tell just in the air there is something different. Obviously, there's all the storylines, but there's something that you can just feel in the gym tonight that something special is about to happen. It's about to go down.
It is. It is. It's going to be a battle between these two cross-county rivals. And the energy level is going to be, this one goes up to 11, right?
It goes up to 11.
So,
and for those of you that don't get the reference, that's a Spinal Tap reference from a movie that came out in the 80s. If you don't know it, look it up. You'll be glad you did, for sure. You should watch it over the weekend or something when you don't have any Model basketball to keep in touch with. But, all right, we are going to go ahead and take a 5-minute break. We'll come back and have our pregame for the boys game. It's the Model Blue Devils and the Darlington Tigers coming up in just a little bit. Let's get ready to roll. We'll be back in 5 minutes.